Let's Get It, where we attack today's local or national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, along with my co-host and producer, Jason Brett.
I'm just saying it's your fault.
Why is it my fault this morning?
I don't know.
All right, it's all right. As usual, Marcus Buck coming to you on a crisp Sunday morning. Got a great show ahead for you. Going to be getting into a lot of NCAA tournament talk. Going to be joined in a little bit by Coach Greg Himes for Overbrook Baseball. Get into some Sixers talk and just some good sports talk overall in general. Before we get into everything, let's just check in. Coach, how are you doing? Because I'm a little upset with this guy over here right now.
It was your fault, though.
It wasn't my fault.
It was your fault.
So I'm going to ask you how you're doing.
So I'm gonna stay out of it. No, I'm doing well. All is good. Not a ton going on, man. Just getting into the spring schedules with everything like that. But all is good, man. And yeah, I'm ready for spring break though.
When's that?
I think I got 2.5 more weeks. I'm wishful thinking.
You get a whole week off, or
we get a week and like a couple days. So I think we get out on like a Thursday.
That's a blessing.
Something like that.
That's a blessing. We get a long weekend.
That's it.
So you do the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Monday.
They get Monday too.
And Tuesday it's supposed to get. But because we had a little snow day, we got the Tuesday yanked from us. So it's just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, I get out on a Thursday. I got a half day.
That half day,
then
right?
I got the full next week.
So that's beautiful. No, we don't get that. When's your last day of school, though?
17th, something like that. That's
what the house is. Why can't we do the same thing? I'm saying, like, I don't know, son. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that too, though. But yeah.
That's it. Well, how are you doing?
Oh, I was waiting for that. I didn't know if you were going to, because you forgot last time. It was your fault, though. I just want to say this, though. It was your fault. But that's all right. We're going to work on our ESP. It's coming. It's building. I am doing okay, besides just burning my finger, my hand, trying to warm my tea up, though. But I'm good, man. It's a little crisp out there. But it's...
I mean, that's karma for the tea bag yesterday.
Oh, see. Right, see.
I would keep that between you and I.
No. You can't bring it up like that because anytime you mention karma for the tea bag, like what I'm saying. Right.
I wasn't gonna ask you.
Right. Like, no, you have to clarify, man.
For the restaurant.
Yes. There you go. See, there's more context to this. You know.
Well, all right.
No, what happened was, listen. I could be a little ghetto sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up. I'm from New York. Not saying that we grew up in the hood or whatever, but I mean, we can be a little ghetto. That's all. So instead of paying $3 for IHOP's tea, it's easier for me to bring my own tea bag and just ask for hot water, honey, and lemon. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. That's how I just saved myself $3.
I mean, we had the pleasure of dining out for breakfast.
That's correct. That's correct. You know what I mean? And
I really shouldn't be complaining.
Thank you, because when you pulled your fare out, I said, no worries. It's a four walls thing, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's what I do, man. You know what I mean? Because they'll be charging like $3.75 for the. I'm like, nah, I got my own tea.
It was just funny. He was
sometimes you don't even be having the right tea, you know what I'm saying? But they're Thai Lipton, you know what I mean?
So just so I understand.
Sure.
Did you have a tea bag knowing you were going to IHOP, or do you just have tea bags with you at all?
No, I was strategic. I said, no, before I left, I said, you know what? I know I'm going to want some tea. Everybody drinks coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Yeah, me either.
So I said, nah, you know what? Let me get my tea bag.
I got you.
And I'm good. Now, sometimes I'll put it in foil because the Celestial Seasonings is not their own individual pack. But this one, I had an individual, I think it was Bigelow or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tea guy. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. So you'll put the grounds in the foil?
Not the grounds. No, that's more like the matcha. Now,
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get that ghetto. That's like when people that carry a little hot sauce in there, and you know what I'm saying? I know my man Aloe do. He carry hot sauce everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing well though, bro. Doing well. You know what? I don't know. I feel like we're getting through March a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was strategic though last week where we went to a game. We went to. I got an update on Chelsea too. My goodness.
We've been waiting.
I got an update for that, yo. But yeah, so I was strategic. So I had like some days off because I got boosted, XYZ, then I recovered, and we went on trips. So that kind of made that week go by like that. You know what I mean? So last week dragged a little bit, but it's all good though.
So listen, give us the update. Give us the update on the Chelsea situation.
Yo, Chelsea's gangster. Me and Chelsea, I called Chelsea. Chelsea never called me on Monday, so I called her. I asked her, what's going on? How you doing? Blah, blah. And I was like, yo, listen, you didn't tell me these tickets, blah, blah, this and that. Oh, I know I told you. I said, no, you didn't tell me because we didn't talk over the phone. We talked by email. And your email clearly stated, how many seats do you need? So when somebody says, how many seats do you need? That means you plan on sitting your ass down, right?
Yes.
So she couldn't fathom, she got an attitude. And then she went 700 other people didn't have a problem with that. I'm sorry. Well, I can't speak for them, but I would never pay $1,500 just to stand. Nobody does that, right? So then I said, listen, no worries. Listen, I said, is there anything that be done? She said, nothing can be done. I said, listen, all right, well, just give me your supervisors, this and that. She said, well, I could talk to him, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, that's cool. I said, but listen, just give me the supervisor, this and that. No, you don't need it. You don't need it. I told you I'm going to this and that. So we talked some more, whatever. So I said, listen, all right, listen, just give me supervisor. I said, listen. She said, listen, you don't need it. You don't need it for what? You don't need it. I'm gonna take care of it. And she's like, well, yeah. And I heard that you were rude to you were talking loud to my coworkers and this and that. So now I'm like, wow, she's a really gangster. So in my mind, I'm questioning her, yo, why do you think that you get to ask that question like that? I said, were you there? She said, no, I wasn't, but that's what they said. I said, well, okay, well, you weren't there though, so I wasn't talking loud to them. I said, but I'll be honest with you. It's 19,000 people in the damn stadium. Everybody's talking loud. You know what I'm saying? I said I was talking assertively because I felt like I just got hoodwinked out of $1,500.
Yes.
So yeah, I did talk assertively. But and I talked to your man who must be a boyfriend that was like, oh, I know she told you. I know she told you. I'm like, well, wait, how you know? You was there? You was on the phone? How you know? You was on the emails? How you know? She would not give me the supervisor's thing. And then she played the game well, you're talking to me loud now. I mean, I don't appreciate you yelling at me. And she went into the damsel in distress theme. Okay. All right. So I said, listen, I'm not being rude to you. I'm not even yelling at you. I'm talking assertively. But if you really want to talk about what's rude, here's the fourth time I'm asking you. Can I have your supervisor's name and information? You're telling me I don't need it. How do you think you get to tell me what I need? Why do you think that you have it like that? She's in full damsel in distress mode. Oh, well, you wouldn't let me talk. I've been trying to give it to you. I said, yo, you're lying. Straight lying. But see, she's performing for whoever's over there. You know what I'm saying? So she was so confident that she gave it to me. She was like, I know I told you. I know I told you because, see, I got burned like that before. See, Chelsea's a rookie. She's a rookie at this debate game because when she says, I know I told you. I know I told you because I got burned like that before. What does that suggest? Marcus, I already know you know. What does it suggest?
Well, it's obviously it suggests that she's done this before.
Oh, it's a pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for her to say this, knowing that you've never had a conversation over the phone, that's why
you're slipping.
That's why, if there's something I need that I'm not sure I want written down, right? We're gonna talk on the phone.
We're gonna talk on the phone. Right.
But if it's something that we're just going back and forth, we can email all day. Right. But you can't say I know I didn't do XYZ if everything's written down. You better go check before you better
go check. You said, well, I have to check the emails. Yeah, I check it because I'm checking before I even start speaking. Right. Okay. How many seats do you need?
Not entrance passes.
No. How many seats It's very clear. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. I sent them a nice little email. I said, I gotta share it with you too. I wrote a story about it. I got like a 5-page story about this thing. I couldn't stop writing about it. You know what I'm saying? It really, I no more writer's block, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. Okay. But I didn't give it to her yet. I just gave her the, hey, listen, hey, Chelsea, hope all is well. Just following up. You said you were going to talk to your supervisor. Well, it's Thursday. That was Monday. I just wanted to see what's going on. You know what? The thing, let me tell everybody just real quick about sales, yo. Sales is all about the customer's experience. If you make that customer's experience wonderful, yo, they'll keep coming back to you.
Listen.
Constantly. So when you Chelsea has a chance to make it right and get it right, to say, hey, listen, you know what? I didn't tell you this, but you know what? I'm gonna comp you guys, whatever. That's all. That's all we want. I don't even want the money back, but comp us 30 tickets to either somewhere to a game
or some Ben Simmons jerseys.
I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Not for that. $30.
They're in a box somewhere.
But I tell you this. I talk to other people and I've asked them when they go to the games and they pay the group rate, whatever, it says like $45, $43. I said, where you guys sitting at? In mezzanine. So I'm like, damn, we paid $50 and we to stand. Why couldn't we sit in mezzanine?
That's what I would have thought. You guys would have had like a big section up top.
Because everybody has a group. They have a group section for group events.
Yes.
Like, I just ain't understanding. But anyway, listen, I'm hoping that we can work this out. So, looking forward to that though, bro. Doing well.
I also am. I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's been a great week. Listen, I think the first thing we got to do is just talk about this NCAA tournament for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
It has been
phenomenal.
Wild.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fail.
Yeah.
It never fails.
I think that's what life is about, right? Life is about a bunch of Davids beating Goliaths. And that's how I look at things. Like, that's what it's all about. So what's stuck with me is the whole St. Peter's thing. What St. Peter's is doing is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's
first of all, being the Jersey school, and just being out there. Obviously, shout out.
That's North Jersey, though. So you
listen.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
You have selective memory.
Oh, it's funny because we did run into a New York guy.
Because just like you said, right? If you're from Long Island, correct?
That's correct.
So if you're playing basketball against somebody from Brooklyn, it's a battle.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't from the same place.
Okay.
But if you two are on the same team against somebody from Virginia,
then it's
us versus you.
Exactly. So that's what it is for now. And again, also, it's college. Okay. College has a different set of rules than professional.
I don't know. I don't know.
It does.
I'm going back in my memory banks because I promise
I'm just saying, no, college is a much different. It's different.
Well, I'm just saying, no, it's what you said. As a Jersey, you said as a Jersey, especially a Jersey team. So, right, but was that the same feeling when it was the New Jersey Nets? That might be a separate debate.
It's a separate debate because college and professional ranks have a different.
That's reaching. You're reaching.
No,
for that. You're reaching.
I'm not reaching.
He's reaching for that one.
Like the New Jersey Nets were never they were never a Jersey team. They weren't a Jersey.
It's New Jersey, huh?
But it's not a Jersey. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a Jersey team
because they were.
No, not even
because before it was proximity. Well, Jersey City is. I mean. You know what? Then walk outside. Well, then you know what? Then
no, but I don't. Hold on. I don't root for St. Peter's.
No.
Okay. So you're not rooting for them. You're not.
No. I'm saying I don't like when they're playing their MAC conference. I'm not like let's go St. Peter's.
I got you.
No, this is more like you said of a David versus Goliath. They just happen to be. From Jersey.
But you're part of your rooting is because they're from Jersey.
No question.
Okay.
No question.
Right. Okay.
No question. Because if they were from Illinois, I'd be like, oh, this is fun.
It's fun. Right. But because they're from Jersey, you're like, yes.
I'm more into it.
Right.
We are.
So was that the same feeling when it comes to the Nets?
No, it's just
because
It's just clarifying. That's
Because here's why.
Mhm.
The Nets had players that I did not like.
Okay.
I don't
that's
like
fair.
Jason Kidd.
That's fair. Okay. So that's
right?
fair.
So now there's a reason why I don't like you. I have
Okay.
zero reason to not like St. Peter's.
Okay. Now that I'll accept that because that to me, let me just say this. I don't even know if I accept it, but I'll say it's more acceptable to me than your reasoning when you said, "Oh, it's college basketball." Because now Marcus is pointing out there's a disdain for a player.
And
Okay.
they're battling the team that I truly love this whole time. So they're playing the Sixers back and forth. They're in the same division.
Right.
So now it's like I'm having 7, 8, 9, 10 games this season where I hate you. It's hard for me to turn on and like you.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. I accept that. I can accept that. That's more acceptable to me. That is. I listen, I'll leave it alone.
I mean, I don't need to justify mine.
Never.
Now, if New Hampshire, my college,
Yes.
was in the same conference as St. Peter's, and St. Peter's was making this run, I might not be. I hope they lose. I might have that feeling because it's against a team that I love.
Right. So that
And I don't know if
that solidified that. That I get that. I just wonder, do we pick and choose when we come with the proximity thing? Because see, this
Either way, he's going to try to.
I understand what he's saying.
Thank you. Because you led the show and you said Jersey team.
I did. They are
right.
Jersey.
So I'm like,
excited about
wait a minute now. That's a separate state. It's not
for professional teams.
see no.
For professional.
I say for life.
Right.
For life,
So,
it's a separate
okay.
state.
All right. So that's all right. That's all right. So so that separate state for you only applies to professional.
Professional.
Okay. Other than that,
But I mean, it's interesting though, because like people will say like right now everyone's all excited about Villanova,
Mhm.
Villanova. I have no connection to Villanova. To me, like I'm not rooting against them,
It's an area team though.
but like to me, I don't have any. They don't do it for me. And people are like, "Oh, how do you not root for Villanova?" I don't root against them. I just don't have a connection.
Right. So yeah, because coach, he stepped in. So,
No, I'm just saying, like,
I don't know what's the
but
problem
because
So,
to me, again, professional.
Do you have? See, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm saying one would just say, "Oh, he doesn't have ties to Villanova team." Do you have ties to St. Peter's?
No, we do not. Well, technically, let's say technically, we do have some ties to St. Peter's that unexpected.
Oh, yes, we do.
I was going to say, so technically,
that is true. Okay,
Coach Joe Whalen, who we had on.
He skirt out that
I'm
one.
just saying, technically, we do.
You do.
We know we are going to
You
be.
do.
Like I said, we have
You do.
the connection,
Mhm.
and Ryan Whalen is the assistant head coach of St. Peter's is going to be joining the show on the 24th.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, so we do have the connection.
That's true.
We do.
Let me ask you this: why don't you think people in this area accept Villanova?
I don't know why. I mean, I would think they would because they've
Like-
always played. It's almost like
I'm
It's
in
like the Duke thing. Like
Yeah.
for the people in this area,
Sure.
people either love Villanova or they
hate.
just hate Villanova. Like I want nothing to do with Villanova. Like why? Like
but why though?
why? They play the right way. They don't have like the superstar guys that come through. They develop their guys. Jay Wright's been there forever. He's a great coach,
Right.
one of the great coaches. Like, why?
And this is their time because there was a time when Villanova wasn't winning shit.
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So this is their time. Like this is almost like their growth. I mean, just the story of how they have ascended. I think I like Villanova.
I love Villanova. I don't understand why people don't.
You don't like them at all.
No, I don't
You
have
never
anything.
did,
Against, I
or-
never have anything against them. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't. I'm neutral.
But you were Michigan.
Yes, I see, and that's why I said with college like teams, I have some college teams that I root for. So to me, it's like I separate that. Like I said, I'm a Miami fan and a Michigan fan.
Okay.
Michigan's number 1 and Miami's number 2.
Okay.
So, that's why to me it's like, it's just like another team. It doesn't mean anything. Like that's cool if they win, but I don't have that connection. That's why I'm saying I think that like with college sports, people have connections to different schools and teams they've rooted for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. I listen. I love the justification. I love it.
Yeah.
I did. It was good too. You pulled that one out. You pulled that one.
Well,
Yeah.
He saved himself.
It's all good, though.
But I mean, you know what? It's just amazing how, and I don't care how much we talk about it, how every game, at least in the first 2 rounds, is just always a good game.
Mhm.
Always a good game.
Yeah, it's cool to see it, and with the way that, unfortunately, in my opinion, the transfer portal stuff that we talked about a couple weeks ago, there's just so much parity.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you don't have the teams that have guys for 3-4 years. You have guys that are coming going, coaches that are coming going. So you just never know. And a lot of these teams, and I think this is like a North Carolina, they're just kind of figuring it out now. And now, which is when you need to figure it out. Now they're at their most dangerous point. Same thing with Duke. Like they're playing well at the right time.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, going to just touch on Duke for a second. Like, you're a North Carolina guy, right?
Who?
I thought you were a North Carolina.
No. I really don't have an allegiance to a team like that.
Oh, who's your favorite team?
I don't really have. I like players. I mean, I like Villanova's program a ton.
Okay, all right.
But I come and go with as teams go. Like I don't really have
My buddy yesterday said, did you ever realize that Jay Wright looks like Phil Dunphy from Modern Family?
That's pretty funny.
And I was like, oh,
That's
man. And I said, yeah, you're right, he does. But okay, but it's like with Duke, like, look, either root for Duke or you pretty much didn't root for Duke.
Agreed.
But I do find myself on this last hurrah for Krzyzewski coming to more appreciation of what he's done over the years.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great coach. He's a great coach. Like I don't like Krzyzewski. And I think it's just the Duke thing that I don't like him, like that whole thing. But yeah, I've always he's a great coach. I've never taken away that he's a bad coach. Like I think North Carolina has had some bad coaches, even though they've won. But I don't think Coach K is a bad coach. I think he's a great coach. Yeah. I just don't like his teams. And I really don't like this team he has now.
Yeah. I don't really care for again, they become the top of the echelon. So I'm an underdog guy. So, I like to root for the underdogs. But Villanova is funny because I still don't look at Villanova as elite.
Right.
Even though their results have been elite.
Because of the kids they have.
Right. I just look at it as they're still underdogs. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Oh, so they beat Michigan, right? They beat Michigan? Or who beat Michigan?
Oh, geez. What?
Villanova beat Michigan.
Yeah. Villanova, that's what I thought. Yeah, they beat Michigan. Yeah. So, it is what it is. It's all good.
And I mean, even today, and that's it. You got the David versus Goliath, like you're saying. But
well, I'm going St. Peter's. You know what I mean?
Listen, I mean,
it's close proximity to New York. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's funny because we did run into the guy yesterday from New York.
He was decked out, and I was like, damn, why is he? In my mind, I was like, damn, did the Knicks win? Did they? Because I mean,
he was head to toe.
Knicks?
Well,
yes,
right. He was, and so we was questioning him, and but he's just a passionate fan. He loves the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So,
and he said Buffalo doesn't count amongst all the New York teams.
Okay, he technically didn't say that.
Well, okay. He agreed with me.
See, don't change people's language.
He agreed with me,
but. Yeah, it's all good. You know what he reminded me? He reminded me of if I decide to put my Knicks stuff on, then I got my Walt Frazier, I got my jacket, and I still got the orange and blue Starberries to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
You know what I mean? So, he's a fan, man.
I was a fan of the Starberry gear.
Oh yeah,
I was.
The pricing.
Right. They sold it at Walmart.
Did they really?
Yes.
There was no Stephen Barry's down here then, huh?
No.
That's where you would find it at Stephen Barry's.
Walmart and Clover. No, maybe not probably Clover. Clover might have been closed up.
Wow, I forgot about
Bradley's and Clover.
I remember Bradley's.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, okay. I remember that.
Woolworths.
Woolworths ain't been around for years.
No, I'm just saying, on the back.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, it's going to be exciting today.
Yeah.
And then you got the Kansas-Miami game. Yeah. Listen, I can't go with the show without giving my girlfriend Bria a shout out. She is the top of the bracket for the Let's Get It pool.
Is she really?
Yeah. And
I have to be honest, I didn't look at it after day one because I knew mine was done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and all I'm hearing is, did you see the bracket? Did you see the bracket? Did you see the bracket? And and I got to give her credit that I think she's pretty much in line to win it.
Wow.
So I'm going to have to.
Bria.
This is like literally going to be like sitting in, the house with the fantasy football champion for the next year.
Year.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to hear it.
Yes. Now you guys are not splitting the.
I mean, it's not exactly, enough to go. Maybe we can get a pizza that we split out of it, but we get that shout out. Well, listen, with that said, we are going to bring our guest, Coach Greg Himes, on the show in just a minute. So excited to transition over to a little baseball season.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
Yep, we are good, Coach. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Just kind of cold out this morning.
It is definitely not a baseball morning.
No, it's not. But I think I'm gonna go hit with one of the kids from Collingswood asked me to go hit with them up at the high school. So we're gonna get some baseball in either way today.
Listen, as long as the field is playable, I'll be out there and I respect that. So, Coach, once again,
let me ask you a question real quick.
Sure.
So you're saying it's not a baseball day?
It's always a baseball day. It's just
I'm like, wait a minute.
Today's the day that you pitch in, right? Everything's got to be in on the hands today if you're playing. So
right,
that is true.
Let me just. Every day's a basketball day because it's inside.
It's inside, absolutely right. Because when it's baseball, like you have to really love baseball to play in this weather.
For sure.
Like football people. It's a great day for football.
Yeah.
You see your breath, your hands are cold. It's a great day for football. So I would think baseball feel the same way, like because this late March, April, oh my God, it's got to be killer for y'all.
Oh yeah, listen, we have a scheduled scrimmage tomorrow, and the high temperature is supposed to be 37 degrees.
Wow!
So it is going to be a cold day out there.
Wow!
So, well, listen, Coach, I appreciate again you joining us. To talk about your program and everything, obviously over at Overbrook. Now, just before we get into that, kind of give us a little bit about your baseball background and kind of how you got into the game and your playing career. A little bit about that.
Well, my playing career wasn't that great because I wasn't very good, but I played at Overbrook. Love the school. I love the community. We live in Pine Hill still. My whole family lives here, and I think I really love to play baseball. When we have a good little complex up the street here, and we would hang out there with our whole team would hang out. We'd go fishing. We would do all kinds of stuff. That was like our team for 5 or 6 years growing up. Playing tournaments and. It was fun, and I kind of just developed a love for the X's and O's of the game. I coached some hoops a little bit right after high school. I was a volunteer at Overbrook, and I played football too. But baseball just kind of feels like it was my niche. It's the way I have a degree in teaching, and I opted out of that route, and I feel like it's my way that I can still maybe affect some kids in the area and kind of bolster it up a little bit. But I left Overbrook, went to Camden County. Transitioned on the mound there, and then got to play my last 2 years at Rutgers Camden. So, I was lucky to play 4 years of college baseball, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. Same experience I had as a kid. I love being around the teammates. I'm still friends with a lot of those guys. We had a great treatment at Rutgers at the time with the stadium, and I know Kulik's doing really good things over there with the program, and the new complex looks really cool. I would have been excited to play there as well. But yeah, baseball has just kind of it turned into a family affair for us now too. My daughters love softball. I have 3 daughters, so they love softball. My nephews are into baseball, and it's nice. And it's turned into a community affair around here, but it's really been something good for my family too. My kids love going up to the high school during games, and
it's cool.
Absolutely. Now you said that you played at Camden County. When did you play there?
08, 09. So Kenny Bouillon was my coach there.
Oh yeah, Coach. Yeah, Coach Kenny was my coach also there. I played there in 2004 and 2005.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach Kenny
he was good.
Coach Kenny, and I shout out to Kenny. I know that he's watches sometimes. The thing that I respected most about him was that he didn't care if you were the top guy on the roster or the 25th guy on the roster. He would work to make everybody better.
100%. 100%. I learned a lot of baseball from Coach. I think the way that I look at the game now is directly affected by the way that he taught us just to think through the game, and not be afraid to talk the game out loud. Like at Overbrook, you will know our defensive plays because we're just going to tell you, and it's just so that we're all on the same page, and we're trying to make the least amount of mistakes as possible. And KB really taught us how to just think through the game, like. Playing for him, it's like, all right, like you got a guy on the mound. If he looks down to his feet before he goes into his windup and you're on third, that's a shot to steal home, right? If we can get that jump, if we can take those little advantages, and he really opened my eyes to a game that I didn't even see before. So I really, really loved my time there. My sophomore year, my second year, I think we were ranked in the top 5 in the country, so we're pretty good.
Yeah. Now you had said, Kenny?
I know Kenny. When Kenny was Kenny trained over at Next Level, and he had he actually brought the Camden County. I don't even know what years it was. He brought the Camden County guys in there a bunch. So I met him through that. Kenny's a good dude.
Very good. Very good. He was. Now, and that's the thing too about playing at that level. People don't understand. I think a lot of times I try to explain like my players and whatnot. If you get a chance to play, at the JUCO level, there is some amazing talent that you are around. Just it's something that people say, oh, well, you played here, you play there. No, I don't know if you understand the level that competition you play against.
I agree with you. I was talking to one of the kids the other day, and he was like, I think I'm just going to go to a county school. I'm like, why is it just a county school?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get some really high level talent, especially in South Jersey. I mean, Cumberland's done a great job, building their program up. Gloucester's obviously always pretty good. It's just a lot of talent. It's a lot of guys who didn't make a decision to go to a 4-year school. It's a lot of raw talent there, I think. You get some better athletes, I think, at that level sometimes. And the D3 level around here in the NJAC's really good too. So it's tough. If you're gonna play any type of baseball in New Jersey at the college level, I think you got to be pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of, transition over to your program now. Kind of how did you get started with, achieving the head coaching position there at Overbrook?
So they kind of had a fallout the year before in 18. And I was up there. I was watching my nephew. My nephew was a freshman that year. And I just called the AD and just said, hey, if this coaching job opens up, can I put in for it? I was the pitching coach at Rutgers Camden 1 year after I finished playing. Spent some time at St. Joe's Hamilton as like a first base coach. I didn't really get too deep into the high school game. I was mostly doing travel stuff, working with guys that way. But I just called the AD that when they opened it up for interviews, I put the resume in, and I think it just kind of it struck, and it's been a good fit. I have a great AD. She's been awesome for me. The whole school honestly has, especially because I'm not in the building. Which is kind of tough sometimes. And my head varsity assistant, Mike Stutz, he's a superstar. He chases every piece of paperwork down for me. I mean, he makes sure he stays in kids' ears about signing up. And I just interviewed, and a couple of parents on the team. The team that was there in 19 was my brother's team from when my nephew was growing up. So I think a lot of the parents had told the AD, like, we'd feel really comfortable if he was the coach. I think it would be a good fit, and I go from there. And those kids, they bought in from day one. We had a good season, I think, in 19. 20 would have been pretty good, and then we've just kind of been building since, and it's worked out pretty.
Absolutely. Now, so as a coach, what's your philosophy that you teach to your players as far as their approach to the game and how you want to see them play?
So we have a really funny mantra, and it's just be the team that stinks less that day. Right, because every time you step on the field, there's going to be an error. You're going to walk guys. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to swing and miss. You're going to hit into an out. It's going to happen. But if we can just minimize our mistakes and just do the simple things really well, it's all we try and do. Just make the routine plays. Let's try and not give up free bags. We'll take as many free bags as we can get, and then we think that's what leads to winning ball games. And with that being said, our guys have come to work. They've really, really, really focused on just making routine plays. So we're not trying to do anything special. We're just trying to play the game the right way. We hustle on and off the field. We don't get too high. We don't get too low. And we really work on just playing the game. I have some teams on the schedule that I'm excited to play against this year. I think they might be. I don't think they're reach games for us, but they're perennial powerhouses, and I'd like to see where these guys measure up. And
what are some of those teams?
We got Cherokee, Kingsway, Delsey's looking pretty good, and they're measuring stick games for us. And I'm proud that the kids, they're excited to play those games. And I think we just talk mostly about playing the game and not the team. Right, a ground ball is a ground ball. A fastball at 86 with 6 inches a run is a fastball at 86 with 6 inches a run. It doesn't matter if the kid was in the paper for 10 days before or not. So, we're just going to go out and we're just going to play. And we're going to play the game and not necessarily the teams across from us. And hopefully that can be a pretty good segue for us to make a little bit of a playoff run, I hope.
Absolutely. Coach, you got any questions?
Yeah, I got a few for you, Coach. What are your biggest challenges coming into the season? And not just this season, but any season. In high school, there's always a lot of turnover, and what are your challenges coming into the season?
I think our biggest challenges have been population for the team. In 19, we had 23 kids try out for the whole program. And then 20, we had a really good population of like 30 plus kids. Obviously, the season got canceled.
Right.
21, we had a lot of kids who had to stay home and watch their little brothers and sisters because they were virtually learning. Parents couldn't get them back and forth to the school. It's kind of a dynamic, in our town. We have a lot of 2-parent households that both work, or it's just a 1-parent household, and that parent's working, and the kids kind of have to be a little bit independent. So I think that's been our biggest hurdle is probably population, like going into the season, like how many guys do we have? How many baseball players do we have from the past? And we open the door to everyone. If you've never played before, come out. And those guys, especially this year, have worked really hard on like learning how to catch, learning how to hit, and learning the game. And it's been awesome. But I think population has been our biggest hurdle. But we've worked really close with the Little League. I help run the youth association in town. This year, my first year with that, again, we had 85 kids in the whole program, top to bottom, T-ball up. This year, we're at 250.
Wow.
So it's been great. And the high school kids help out down there. They help come set the fields up, drag the fields. They spend time around the T-ballers. They spend time around, the 6 to 8-year-old kids, all of them. And it's been good. And I hope that kind of population influx, especially inside the sport, because it's a tough sport to pick up, kind of puts us and eliminates that problem moving forward.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. This is a question. My daughter plays softball as well. And watching her teams and what I've seen is baseball, softball are very individual sports. You hit, you field, you pitch, it's you out there. It's a team sport, but it's very individualized. How do you take that mentality and turn it into a team sport where, it's not, basketball, football, those rely on each other way more than baseball, softball do. How do you turn that into a team mentality?
So that you're 100% right. We always say it's an individual sport, right? And how your individual actions affect, your teammates still, but you have to get it done. So what we about is you can be self and help your teammates at the same time. So let's say a hit by pitch. Say a kid wants to get out of the way of a pitch because he wants to hit that at bat. Well, if you get hit pitch, your next at bat, what is the pitcher going to do to you? He's going to throw that pitch away. So you're essentially by playing the team game, taking the hit by pitch, your next at bat, you selfishly eliminated 8.5 inches of that plate. A lot of high school and even some college athlete, the guy that you hit come up in the lineup, you don't want to hit him twice. You're going to pitch away at least to start. So just taking the approach that like I can help my teammates out by getting on here, but my next at bat, I'm really dictating that pitch. So you can get selfish that way. So it's kind of just, making sure that you're as prepared as possible, making sure that you plan your game plan and your approach is to make sure that you succeed. But by your success, it's going to trickle down into the team game. And, people always say in baseball, hitting's contagious. Hitting is contagious. You get a pitcher rattled, you can start to lay it on. Maybe you get a walk or two. So by taking a selfish approach and just making sure that your batting average stays high, your OBP stays high, that should aid in your other teammates as well. Playing at a high because they're gonna get a fastball, or the guy in the 6 hole is going to get fastballs because the guy in the 5 hole got a lot of curveballs. So I think it's just explaining the game to them and telling them how they can get an advantage, but it aids into the overall team perspective.
Gotcha. Now, one thing I just picked up when you said, later today you might go hit with a kid from Collingswood.
Yep.
Is that something that you do? I'm sure you have relationships with other kids from other schools. Is that something you do often, or how does that work?
Yeah. So I have a travel program called the New Jersey Nukes.
Okay.
And the Nukes was started out of the idea that the district that I'm going to coach in isn't the most affluent district, and those kids maybe don't have the option to play travel baseball because of parents working. Travel baseball can get really, really expensive too. So we keep the cost down to a minimum. It's a not-for-profit corporation. And it's kind of a home that they can go and they can develop their skills. And we have kids from Collingswood, Haddon Heights. We have them from all over, Shalleck, Cumberland, and they're my guys just like my Overbrook guys are. So, as we continue through the season, if they're struggling or they want to do some maintenance stuff, we'll get together whatever time we have and just try and help them out.
Cool.
No, I do like that approach a lot, and I'll tell you, I'm picking up a few different things that I'm going to definitely take back from what you're saying, Coach. Jay, you have anything for Coach?
I have 2 questions. So the one question is, you know what? I never really I played baseball when I was a little kid. I played Little League. I've always liked it, but I don't know. I just never went that route. I love basketball more, right? So, but watching it on television, and of course, I know you're a Yankee fan, right? Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not. I would say that I'm a Phillies fan, but I follow players.
I got you.
I follow players and matchups.
I feel like I've heard that narrative that they follow players.
That's a narrative, or just how it is?
That's just how it is, though. So, but my question is, though, my first question is, the nuances. It's interesting. I'm hearing you speak, and you guys are talking like analyzation and strategy. Like, is it that? I guess fine-tuned or that analytical where if a person before that was batting before got straight curveballs, then the next person is going to get maybe some fastballs? Or what is that kind of how it, like, how do you know, how does the pitcher know, like, how does that batter know what's coming? Like, right. He was sitting on that fastball. He was sitting on that slider. Was it that he was paying attention to something? Or like when there's like a 3-1 count, I know you're getting a fastball, right? Because that has to come down the middle. You don't want to lose that batter unless there's nothing behind you or whatever the case may be. So just want to talk more about the strategy about baseball.
Yeah, so baseball is kind of a weird sport where you can fail and succeed at the same time.
Okay.
If you have a guy in the box and there's 1 out, runner on third base, there's a way to have a productive at-bat without getting a hit or getting on base yourself. Like if that hitter in the box, it's a ground ball to the second baseman and we score that run, that RBI matters more than that guy being on first base. So you can fail and succeed at the same time and pick your team up in that matter. But it does get analytical like that. I mean, depends the guy on base. If you have a guy on base who steals a lot of bags, I know in the box I'm going to get a fastball early because they're gonna think we're starting that runner. They're going to give their catcher a shot to throw him out. They're going to try and set that piece of the game up. So it's like, hey, if we're starting the runner, fine. It is what it is. But later in the count, at some point, that pitcher's going to have to make a decision: am I getting the hitter or am I getting the runner?
Got you.
So you can dictate the game a little bit too. Sometimes, like baseball is cool. You can kind of massage it into the way that you get to play ball. Like St. Pete's when they beat who they open up with?
Kentucky.
They slowed the game down. They played a half court game. And if they ran with Kentucky, might have ran them out of the building. But they played their game and they massaged the game into their way and they took control of it. So like baseball, you can do that in that type of sense too, and kind of curtail it to your team or your personality. And the kids kind of buy into that. Like, you're always positive because confidence is the biggest thing with any athlete, right? So even in our failures, if we can talk about succeeding, it's still productive. They still feel like they're being productive and helping you win the game in that way.
Got you. And then my next question is, you said, you're not in the building. How has it been to kind of overcome that challenge and still have the ears of the kids, still have the mind of the kids, still have still be able to be that voice as the leader of those children not being in the building? How has that, how's that played out somewhat, so to speak?
I think I'm so entrenched in the town.
Okay.
Like my wife makes fun of me that I'm like, I should run for mayor. But I've known a lot of these kids growing up. I've watched them play Little League. I've watched them do those things. And I just think there's a mutual respect there. They know that our coaching staff's going to come in and give them everything that we have plus. And we're not going to ask for anything in return to begin with. We're going to give it to them, with blind trust.
Right.
And they're gonna try and fill that up and not repay that, but give us the same effort back. And the guys have been great. It hasn't been a hurdle, I don't think. Sometimes communicating with kids or seeing like who's in the building that day, I have to really rely on my varsity assistant.
Okay.
And he'll let me know. And I rely on the kids. Like we have really good leadership inside the team. Our catcher Eddie Bupp, he's a junior, but those kids will run through a brick wall with him, and it's because he's willing to run through the brick wall first. And he was a heavy recruiter for us this year in the building. Just trying to get athletes out.
Right. Now, my last question is: Do you currently teach now, or?
No, I do outside sales.
Okay.
For Accurate Lift Truck, I sell material handling equipment and different stuff.
Okay. All right. That's good. Good stuff, man.
Did I see that your catcher? I saw that yesterday. He went deep in the first at bat yesterday.
First at bat of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the way to start the year.
Even better, his next at bat, it was a double in the right center gap.
Wow.
Yeah. And that funny thing is, because I'm assuming that you were approaching him like that, you got more hyped about that than the home run to what was that, left or left center?
Left center.
Left center.
100%. I was making a joke to the one kid. He was getting ready to go on deck, and I turned to our left fielder, Dylan McGarvey, and I was like, $5. Butt flies out to the infield, and he looked at me, and I was like, don't try and do too much. Like wind's blowing out, dude. That wasn't that impressive. I mean, he got every bit of that baseball. That ball was touched, but he's mature. He's a mature athlete. He's a good athlete. I mean, he rushed for 1,000 yards in football.
Oh wow.
He's just a tough kid, and he's good. He's a good kid to coach too, and he's a good kid to have help lead your team with everything.
Now you mentioned that him being a big leader, and one of the things that we've asked a lot of the coaches that have been on, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, do you have captains on your team?
Yes.
A, and B, how do you go about getting those captains selected?
We have captains, and I think captains pick themselves. We have a pretty open team here. So coming from the demographic, and I know the kids from town, pretty independent kids. They take care of themselves a lot. They get themselves ready for school, like even at a younger age with parents working. So I put that emphasis on them. I'm like, look, if you want to be a captain, just lead. No one has to tell you you're a captain. If people follow you, then you are a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to tell them that, and I don't have to, impose that on them. But if you're going to lead, you have to lead in a certain way. And pretty much our guys have stepped up, and certain guys lead, certain guys follow. It's okay. And I think captains usually pick themselves up. They're the guys out there first. They're the guys staying late. They're the guys getting in someone's ear if they have to. They're the guys making sure all the trash is picked up in the dugout. And it's been good. All of our guys have been great. It's hard to pick a captain sometimes though too, because our whole team they're continuously doing things the right way. They spend an extra 20, 30 minutes after practice or the game every day just getting the field right before we leave.
Yeah.
So,
Just working. Like you said, it just kind of touched on it too. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. And just being at my, what was that?
Why you do that shit in my direction?
I'm sorry. I lost control. But like I was saying, even at my program over at Camden, like it was the same thing. If you want to come out, and we'll teach you how to catch, we'll teach you how to throw, we'll teach you how to hit. If you have a desire to play, and it's funny because you get guys that come out, and they surprise you, and they surprise themselves, with the ability that they have. So
I really like that statement that you said that captains select themselves. I think I believe that. I truly do, because that keeps it on the level of everybody's on the same level. They have the same opportunity, the same access to be able to do that. But there will be some kids that will and some kids that won't. And the fact that you allow that behavior to be the deciding factor, I think, is critical, because some may say, oh, well, I'm going to pick this one because this one's a good kid. And then now, I guess that you could do that, and there's power in that. But then at the same time, then that alienates the other kids that's out there doing the going the extra mile. So I think doing it that way, it just it evens and levels the playing field for everyone. So definitely appreciate that.
I appreciate that. I don't know. We have a real fluid system between the coaching staff and the players as well. Like, this is their program. right? What do they want to do in these 4 years? And like, this is where we can take the program. This is what you guys can do. And it's on you guys. And I try and treat them like adults, and because they are young men and they have an opinion and they're working towards their goals. And it's like, we're here to steer the ship, right? As the mentors of these young kids, we're here to steer the ship. And again, we have kids that never played before, but you know what? The one kid said to me the other day, he put his uniform on. He's like, my mom's going to be so proud. I'm like, that's awesome. Like,
Right.
that's great. Like that. That's what we want. And our upper level guys never, ever, ever get negative to like the new guys coming out. They try and help them and they try and bring them along. And it's just a good learning environment. I mean, I was telling my buddy yesterday, most of the kids when we're on the field, they don't even call me coach. They call me Greg. And he was like, is that weird to you? And I was like, no, there's no ego. In public or like, around other people, they call me coach.
Right.
They just call me Greg. And I mean, I think it's funny. They TP'd my house during mischief. So that was
Very cool. Very cool.
Hey.
Well, listen, Coach, I mean, it's been great having you on. Before we let you go, my buddy Marcus here always asks a question to our coaches.
Before we get into that, I do have one other question, and this is kind of just going back to my daughter's team. I was always wondered this kind of stuff. During a game, how many coaches do you have in your dugout, and what are their roles? And you don't have to get super specific, just a quick rundown of what everybody does.
So this year we have two guys at the JV level, Dan and his dad, Bill Reese. Dan's the manager, and Papa Reese does stats and kind of talks to players on the side. At the varsity level, we'll have me, Coach Stutz, and Chris Lingham, who Chris has been a huge addition for us. He was an All-American at Gloucester County, played at Georgia Southeastern. He owns a training facility, like a sports training facility, not necessarily like an academy, but he's like a strength and conditioning coach. And so Chris will kind of deal with the outfielders. So based off of, who's up, maybe what they did in their last at bat, who we have on the mound, Chris will direct the outfielders. I'll direct the infielders, and I let my catcher call pitches if I trust him, and I trust Eddie enough that he's going to call pitches. So I'll move the infield around. Chris will deal with the outfield. Stutz is the first base guy. He's making sure, guys are cool on the bench. He's kind of a good bench coach that way too. So yeah, there's a different dynamic. Everyone kind of has a job because there's so many moving pieces at all times in baseball or softball. But it's always great to have one bench coach that could talk to a kid like in between an at bat, or maybe they make an error, or it's like, hey, did you see that? Like, that's a nice play, or did you see where he was at? Know to get into that position when you're there. So I think each coach has there's the manager role, who's going to probably coach third and run most of the offense. And then, you get some help on the defensive side of the ball. And then a good bench coach is very, very important, I think.
Gotcha. So you coach third?
I do coach third.
Got it.
I'm a little way too aggressive, but but I'm still doing it, and we're waving everybody.
I was going to say, that's okay. Make them make the play. Absolutely. So
our last question that we asked everybody,
sure.
As we continue to try to grow our show, who do you think would be a good guest for us to bring on? And with that said, we will need your help in bringing that guest on.
That's a good question. There's a lot of really, really cool young guys in South Jersey baseball right now trying to affect the game. Good personality would probably be college teammate of mine. He's a assistant coach at Penn State Abington, Joe Domeno. He would probably be a person. He's got his thumbprint on a lot in high school baseball in South Jersey, and especially at the collegiate level. Penn State Abington's job offensively this year, and he's been there, I want to say 3 or 4 years now. He was the interim head coach before Dave Miller got hired, and I think he would be a pretty good fit for you guys. He also runs Game Day Athletics, which is where we run our travel program out of, and that's where we go when it rains and stuff like that. So he'd probably be a really cool person to get involved.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Well, listen, Coach, I appreciate you very much taking a few minutes this morning to talk to us. I wish you guys the best of luck, and definitely will be in contact with you to see how your season's going. Once again, Coach Greg Himes from Overbrook Baseball joined us. Thanks a lot, Coach, and we'll catch up with you a little on down the line.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, and good luck this season to you too.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
I say we give it up for Coach.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What's up with you? You all right?
I'm good, man. I just got a dry throat. Relax.
No. You got shit over there, so you're not dry no more. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, now it's empty.
Okay.
I got my booster 2 days ago. Maybe the booster.
I told you that. You know what? It's usually, I thought it'd be the next day. It was the day after.
Yes. Yesterday afternoon, I got real lethargic.
And then today, you're just going to feel it
Mine
too.
put me down the next day.
Immediately the next day.
Next day.
Yeah, see, mine was like a gradual thing.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yesterday when I got home, I was gone. But that was a great interview.
It was. It's a phenomenal interview, actually. And I learned a little bit about baseball,
I agree, me too.
to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask you,
Yes.
if you were in public and you were in line and somebody did this to you.
Stupid. I would not appreciate it. You are right.
But you're my guy.
You're
my guy.
Oh, now you want to touch the hand I coughed into?
Damn.
If you're.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right.
I'm saying he's that concerned about it. And,
I was surprised.
and then he's here. We'll elbow it up.
Oh,
So, Randy, what's your role in the coaching staff?
So I'm the assistant coach. I would say that my role is basically all the on-field stuff. Our shout outs to our head coach, Coach Hansen. I mean, he I've said it before, but he goes above and beyond for those kids there. I mean, not just talking about, on the field, but making sure they got gloves, they got pants, they got this, they're in the classroom. And also a shout out to our other coach, Coach Nelthrob. He's in the building and he deals with all the academics. He's making sure the kids are doing what their things are doing. And he's just unbelievable. Like I said, my role on that team, though, is teaching the game, and understand, helping them understand everything and really doing all the on-field stuff. But like Coach Himes was saying, and Coach, from, coaching, you can't run your team without everybody on your staff.
For sure.
And I know, like I said, we have guys, too, that literally don't know the game, but they just want to come out and play. And, you see the progress from 1 week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and it's pretty cool.
So do you coach a base?
Yes, I am third base.
You have third base.
Yes.
So as the third base coach, what is your job when you're at third base?
So my job as third base coach is to be given the signs, whatever we're doing, bunting, taking a pitch, whatever it may be. Usually a lot of times what I do is, I always like the kids to step out between every pitch, give themselves a breather, take a look down, remind them, hey, 1-0, look for a pitch you can drive. You got a runner on first base. You want to move the runner. Like, I'm usually in their ear, just kind of letting them know what I need done on this pitch. Sometimes I'm just the simplest, have some fun. Let's go. And just, let them step back in the box.
Now, are you aggressive, or are you sending everybody, or you got this to sign up? Yeah.
It all depends on each kid. But I mean, with our program, I'm aggressive. I mean, we have to take advantage to try to get every extra run we can. So
if he comes, if it's second base single, that person's coming home.
75% of the time, we're making that.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and usually it's more of, because that's where the dimensions are not the same as the major league.
Oh, yeah.
Are they the same?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So then, okay. Wow. So you're aggressive. And now what's your record, though, of safe and called out? I'm
probably more, I don't know, probably 50-50.
Okay. Right.
Okay, 50-50,
That's fair.
But, I think you were saying, though, too, because now I'm kind of guessing you're laying it back to, like, with your daughter and her team.
Yeah.
And how, there's everyone has to have a role, and that's all I'm saying. Everyone has to understand their role.
Yeah, I think it's important that in any sport, not just baseball, softball, that your coaches know what their role is, what the head coach relays what he's expecting from each person, and that you just don't have coaches standing around.
Right. Exactly. And it's interesting though, because, and you probably experienced this too, and Jay, you probably experienced this. There's players will have their coach that they
absolutely
draw to.
Absolutely.
And you'll have a guy who, maybe your third, let's say your third ranking coach, but for some reason your top player, when he's pissed, that coach can bring him down or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think that like coach was talking about the nuances of the game, the first base coach, that just keeping people's ear, keeping them alert, letting them know.
Right.
So, but it was good. I mean, and he was definitely talking a lot of analytics there.
No, I learned some of that stuff because, again, watching baseball, I'll say, 3-1, a fastball's coming, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. 3-2, I would think that a fastball coming, but your money pitch is coming.
Right.
Whatever that is. Even if you got a curve that you can get, if you can get it over and it's your money pitch, you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Why'd you assume he was a Yankees fan?
I'm messing with him.
Okay.
I don't understand how you can't be a Yankees fan, to be honest with you.
Right now it could be in trouble.
What?
The team, they're struggling right now.
Yankees?
Yeah.
The season started?
Well, not yet, but I'm just saying it's not. As a Yankee fan, as a Yankee fan, they're not where they used to be.
Oh, Philly beat them, didn't they? Did Philly beat them in the exhibition?
Oh, well, who cares about exhibition?
Well, that's why you're talking, right?
No, I'm just saying in general.
Did Philly beat them?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to preseason.
Okay, you got my head.
All right. Well, either way, I don't pay.
Well, one thing Coach said that I just acted like I knew what he was talking about. He said a fastball, an 86 mile per hour fastball
with 6 inches of run, right?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what is that?
It's funny because I thought about that. So basically, that's just whether you're going to run inside or it's going to run outside. So basically the break on the ball
towards the end,
right? So that when they say 6 inches of run, it's either when it gets to the plate, does it run outside or does it run inside?
How does that happen?
And how do you see it that fast?
Throw it straight, right?
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, because
sit down the middle and hit.
But you'll hear though, and I'm sure you've heard it, he's got 86 with great movement, and it's and he's right.
It hit him on the hands or something like that. It jammed him or something like he jammed him up, or whatever. But how do you see it though? How do you manage that as a hitter? 6 inches of run. How do you know? You have to see it first, and then you know you know what to expect or something, or what?
Well, I mean, you don't. As a hitter, you don't. You have to try to react and see. As a good pitcher,
right. I guess what I'm asking is there I want to say tipping point, but like a level or a point in when the ball's coming that you got to make sure you're hitting, because you swing the bat, right?
Yeah.
The ball. You got to make sure that by the time that bat swing, the ball is right here. Something it's mathematical.
Yeah,
right?
You're
it's
right.
Science.
You're right.
To be, right.
You're right, and that's the thing about as a hitter. Like when you're hitting, if a guy has a 86 mile an hour fastball with 6 inches of run, if he can get it in on you,
then he got it right.
He's got it.
Now, when you hit your home run, what was that? Was that 6 inches of run or?
No, we were like 15. Man, that was just a fastball over the plate. About letter high.
Letter high.
That was it. But and that's the thing. That's as you said, the nuances of baseball. Because if you can, and that's what people always say, if you can get movement on your ball, I'd rather take a guy that can throw 86 with 6 inches of run than 93 straight. Because it's very easy to time a straight fastball.
Versus the fastball that got movement.
Yeah.
But movement still within the strike zone, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Or it starts out in the strike zone and then get that run at the end.
So then it fools you, to be honest with you. I got you.
So, and like I said, that's why you'll hear the 2-seam fastball, the 4-seam fastball, and that determines the movement.
Oh wait, so the 2-seamer or the 4-seamer, I just thought it'd be how you want to throw it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is 4-seam, right?
Well, no, that's 4 fingers. It just depends on.
Is this 4-seam? Is that what it is?
No, it's the
2
way,
seams.
The seams on the ball. It's the way you hold it.
It's the way you hold it.
It's the way. It's almost like a basketball. How it has the seams.
Right.
It's just holding it with the seams or without the seams.
So 4 hands on the seam.
No. It doesn't. So if you're a 4-seam, if you got a 4-seam fastball,
yes,
you'll hold it like this, right?
Okay.
And either the seams will be you can be like, look at it like a horseshoe. the seams will be up, or you can also go across the seams.
Oh, see, I thought it was 4 fingers. That's what I'm saying. I don't be knowing.
Go get
man.
a baseball and try to throw with 4 fingers.
I always thought the curveball is 3 fingers, right?
Oh. Curve all depends on where. Well, it use 3 fingers, but it also depends on where you put your fingers on the.
But I'm saying though, when you're holding the ball, you're holding it like with the 3 fingers, right?
You can, but you want to hold it like this, and you'll hold it. You'll usually grab.
See, I just learned. I really thought.
Yeah. Then there's a slider.
I be slow
there's
sometimes.
There's a lot.
Man.
There's a lot, and that's definitely true. But
I be slow sometimes. You realize I didn't realize that a grape and a raisin was the same thing until I was like 30 something.
No, you know what? In fairness,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if you ask 10 people, about that. But no, it was great stuff. Like I said, it's fun, and that's why, like I said, with baseball, it's just so much going on.
What's your favorite pitch? I think one of my favorite two favorite pitches are the what did Mariano threw? The cut
fastball. That's all he threw.
Right now, what's the cut fastball?
Well, that's like we were talking about, like the run. A cut fastball cuts in or out to the lefty or the righty.
Oh, okay. I thought
now his thing was he could get it to cut in because he used to break a lot of bats. Right. So that was his thing.
I love the cut fastball and I love the lollipop curve.
Like the big break?
The break.
Okay.
When that go like this.
Just drops.
And then drop right in that strike zone. Yeah. Those are beautiful pictures.
I used to be
pitches.
I guess my favorite pitch, I love a slider. A good slider.
Good slider.
Yeah. Good slider. Or the changeup. It's fun seeing a good changeup.
I love a changeup too.
A good changeup.
Changeup and curve is the same. It's similar, right?
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knuckleball.
Oh.
Knuckleball. Right. Because, yo, you got kids. You get the catch, baby. Turn it all the way around.
Oh, my goodness.
The catcher can't even catch it.
Oh, no, they can't.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. Who was the knuckleballer for years?
Tim Wakefield.
Wakefield, right? Yeah.
That's right.
And he had his own personal catcher.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the only time he played was when Wakefield pitched.
Yeah.
So, but very good. Like I said, it was fun to get a little bit of baseball in, but just turning our attention back to basketball, and then that's ramped it up. We got Sixers moved up into the top seed in the East. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing based, right now. And they got a big game today against the Suns.
Yeah. I actually hate to say this because I'm never scared of anybody. Brooklyn makes me a little nervous. But you know what? You just got to go out and play, right? Because that Memphis team beat them. And Memphis, you know what? They are the story of the year. Memphis, they have just good. They're good, and they just play ball.
Yeah.
And
they
their
have
coach
so much
is not
fun.
really like some big name. They just play ball. They're really good. But I like to see them at that 3 seed. I like to see Philly go to that 3 seed. I think that's a pathway for them. I think them at the top seed that's a dangerous game for them.
I also don't like it because I think that will put a mentality in that I don't want to see them approaching the playoffs with.
Losing, right?
No, I'm saying if they were to be the top seed.
Oh.
But if they were to be the top seed, they're going to have to win a ton of games to stay like that right now.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's so tight. So right now, Brooklyn's 8, Cleveland's 7. And it looks like Brooklyn's probably going to stay at 8. They're 2 games behind 7, Cleveland at 7.
And Cleveland's still rolling.
So, but I think if Cleveland plays Brooklyn in that playing game, Brooklyn beats Cleveland to go to 7.
Oh, so if you're the 8 seed, you still got to play a playing game?
7 plays 8 for the 7th seed.
Right.
Oh.
And then
so
the loser of that plays the winner of 9-10.
The winner of 9-10, which is Charlotte, Atlanta.
Okay.
So, I don't know, man. I just don't want to play Brooklyn.
I know.
I want to play them.
And now, Kyrie's like, I'm hyped. I can play in all my games. They dropped the mandate.
That was a perfect thing for him. He's so rested.
Oh, he's scary.
It worked out perfectly.
It did.
Like he's gonna be in mid-season form come.
You know what I don't like about it though?
What don't you like about it?
I agree with all that stuff that you said, but we're going to start looking at Kyrie as like a victor in this. Like Like he got the victory. Like he stood his ground and he triumphed and I'm sure that's the narrative that he's going to be, kind of expostulating. Let me say that.
Excuse me?
Expostulating.
I'm like, hold on. Can you spell that?
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah, I can. Actually.
Another one? Yes.
Yeah.
What was the origin?
Well, I don't know. No, you want to go with the origin, but the thoughts that he expostulated just meant that, that he's trying to convey X, Y, Z or whatever. But anyway, listen, I think that just what he's, at the end of the day, like Kyrie chose not to get vaccinated. That's okay. But I don't think that's something to be celebrated. I don't think it's something like, I stood my ground, that I fought against the norm, this and that, because a lot of people died. Right. And I think that's where we need to, that's the unfortunate thing. I think that it gets celebrated about Kyrie. Like he's no martyr. He's no hero to me. You know what I'm saying? He's a ball player that made a personal choice and he chose to deal with it, but he wanted like sympathy. And I didn't think that was fair for you to even want that because, they trying to tell me what to do. No, I'm fighting for the voiceless. No, you're not. You made a personal choice and that's what you could do. You know what I'm saying? But, things could change. I mean, this COVID, there's so many variants that's going to keep coming. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to have to eventually do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just my take on it. I love Kyrie. I think Kyrie is a superstar, but I just don't like some of the behavior.
Some of the narratives that he's pushing.
Some of them.
Okay. Now, can you spell expostulated for me?
I probably
because
can't.
I looked to Google it and it's like does not find anything.
I think it's SESP. How'd you spell it?
I spelled it ESPOCHALATED.
No. It's I'll text you the word.
Okay. No, I mean I hear what you're saying. I mean I think that, like I said, in general with the Sixers, I mean they're just like we've talked about it the last couple of weeks. Like we're all ready for the playoffs. Like we're ready to see how this pans out come playoff time. Even a game like today. Yeah, that's cool. We're playing the Suns. It's a big game. But at the end of the day, too, if we lose, we lose. We win, that's a nice win.
Well, I will say this. This game today, and I'm hoping everybody plays, I think it'll because their last big game that they all played in, they got beat by 100.
Right? That's true.
So this is a big game where they just, and like you said, if they win, Phoenix is better than them, but is this going to be a game or are you going to get blown out? Like what's going to happen? Right. So, I mean, I think that's going to be interesting to see. Mm-hmm. So I think I will take something. If they all play, I think I will take something from this game as to where we truly are. If we're figuring it out or if it's going to be an early exit.
So, what's interesting, I'm just going back. I'm looking at some of the throwbacks. 1 year ago today, we had your boy, Coach Ware on the show.
Oh, shout out Coach Ware.
Yeah, and Maggie McIntyre joined the show. Remember we had Maggie on there. She has her own little podcast.
That's right. Yep.
Yes.
So
yes.
So it's just cool when I see these throwback these memories about about it.
I liked how the Sixers played though versus the Clippers though.
Yeah,
I did like that. I enjoyed that game. I thought they played very well. I liked the win in Miami, right? Without everybody.
That was
everybody.
Huge. Yeah.
What? Speaking of that, I mean, and this is taking me to Miami. What do you think about James Butler? What do you think about that?
Oh, the little incident he had the other day with Coach.
Yeah, that's a problem to me.
And he told Udonis Haslem, "You ain't been nothing since D Wade."
Well, see, I don't know if that's true.
I wish we could actually know.
I know,
like
where did that come from? I mean, Jimmy, but that's what you get with Jimmy. Like, you kind of do. Like, you get the star player, but there's going to be that other side to Jimmy that you're going to have to navigate.
The problem I have is that I don't mind having toughness. I don't even mind having expression. It's just when you show it. Like, one of the things I'm big on, and if we have certain listeners listening, that's okay, because I'm always going to talk in code. But I just think it's almost like and I'm a talking code. It's almost like I had a problem with someone. Like if you had a problem with me, come talk to me like behind the scenes. Do not wait till we get on here. You know what I'm saying? And where everybody, for the world to see, for you to now express your emotion. Like that's not fair. Actually, it's embarrassing. And it shows that you don't have, number one, you don't have a united front. And number two, you don't know how to handle your emotions.
For sure.
That's the main two things it shows me. Okay. And I've been in restaurants. Where, you know, my ex was upset. So I've been in those regards. I still think it's always united front in front of the people. Behind the scenes, we could get it in. We could talk, we could do whatever. But in front of the people, united front. Because once you show a crack in the boat or a crack in any, once it's like this, instead of being like this, things can happen. Everything can get in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like it. And then when you have Udonis Haslem, who is like a career Miamiist, and you know, he don't even play. You know what I'm saying? He's there for almost like a coaching role, right? Mentor, right? So for him to even get upset and lose it, and I know he's been a part of those type of things, it really shows me just the vitriol that they have for Jimmy.
You're on fire today with these words.
I might have used expostulated wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even spell it. I mean, I'm pretty solid.
It's EX.
Oh, X spot. Okay,
Yeah.
that was
Let me ask you this. Who looked upset in that? Jimmy didn't look upset to me at all.
No, Udonis did.
And so did Spoelstra.
Right.
So whatever they were saying, it would be like, and this is why I don't know what was said, but I didn't get upset with Jimmy about it because I felt like he tried to do what you were saying.
Right.
Like, we're talking about this and you get really upset at me. And I'm like, yo, what are you so upset about?
Right.
And then Jimmy looked like he just kept going back to try to have this conversation where they're trying to, like, they're throwing, like, Spoelstra's throwing stuff.
Right.
And, like, Haslam's trying to fight him. And he's like, yo, I just said what I said. Like he didn't seem like, now what happened behind closed doors might have been different. But I'm saying, like, in the moment, Jimmy didn't seem like he was, now what he might have said some off the wall stuff.
See, and that's why I was going to compare the Carmelo and KG thing.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like, everybody was like, yo, what's wrong with Carmelo?
Yeah.
This and that. But we didn't know
We don't
that.
know what he said. We didn't know what he said.
At the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, I don't know. So, I don't know.
I just didn't like it. I just think it's a bad look for Miami.
But I love how Spoelstra was going right at him.
Right. He
Oh
wasn't
yeah, he
scared.
didn't back down.
That.
Yeah, he wasn't scared.
That's what Ben Simmons needs.
Yes. He needed a coach to go at him.
He needed that.
And that's the thing. And I know
I'll fight you if you don't shoot.
Right.
I'm gonna fight you.
But you know what? I think the process hurt him. I think Brett Brown was the one.
Oh, there's no
him.
question.
Yeah, he was the one that hurt him.
Well, you're right, because that's going to help him down the line. The toughness. I mean, with the Miami Heat, it's going to help him down the line.
If they figure it out.
If
That's what I'm saying. If they figure it out.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, yeah, he went at it, but he's like, okay, Jimmy's going to respect Spoelstra at the end of the day.
I love that.
And if not, it's like, okay, because even if you still, let's say you lost Jimmy, okay, but you still got the whole team behind you. And I don't think you lose Jimmy because I think Jimmy kind of does that to see what he can and can't get away with.
Oh yeah, Jimmy definitely pushes buttons. There's no question. So for him, it's like, okay, like, all right, he's not the guy that I thought maybe he is, and he'll respect that. Or the other two. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just saying. Or the other thing is, they might be mad at him, but at the end of the day, he has such respect for him that if someone else comes at his coach, he'll have his back.
Oh, I agree with that.
And that builds such a camaraderie on your team.
I mean, I guess it all comes down to what did he say.
That's true. I mean, if he was like, I'm gonna your wife or something. No,
I think from what the rumors is that he says somebody said something to him like, yo, if you play like that, they said that Haslam said something like, if you played like that in my era, you would have something. And he said, well, you guys are only relevant because of D Wade. You know what I'm saying? So, and then now, granted, I will say that there are times when you have that mentor that sometimes you got to know. That's why I think counseling. It's funny because somebody said, "Oh, with counseling, I could do counseling. I could counsel. I could, like it's nothing. Like it's, and what it does is, when they say stuff like that, oh, I can counsel. Well, I've done a little bit, but that, oh yeah, I could do it. Yeah, sure. It diminishes
what you're doing,
what I do. You know what I'm saying? It diminishes the profession. But the one thing about counseling is timing.
Mm-hmm.
Timing of when I can get you the message. If you are ramped up, upset, chances are you're not hearing anything. So if I come at you, oh, what are you doing? This thing, you suck. In my area, you'd have been this and that. That's probably not the right time to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because all you're going to do is elicit a response. Now, my understanding is that they went on a run after that. You know what I'm saying, which was good, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't like, first of all, you're in front of thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's watching you, Family Feud. Everybody knows that in sports, and you're a coach and you see another team family feuding, there's a breakdown. Oh, yeah. Let's get them. Let's get them. It's hunting season, like Jay could say. Let's get them. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't like it. Not from your superstar.
And I also one thing I've learned coaching is that kids these days and players these days, they don't want to hear about what you did.
Right, exactly.
They don't want to hear. They don't care.
They don't go.
Right now, you'll have some that ask, and I've learned it. And I don't talk about myself at all, my playing days at all, unless somebody asks.
Right.
Now, there's another coach I know that's all he talks about is when he did this, when he did that, when whatever. And the players like this.
Like, cool.
They don't want to hear that. Right. They don't care.
Right.
Now, if somebody asks you, tell them. But so for him to say that, nobody cares about your air. Nobody cares.
Right. I thought the timing of that was wrong, But, I don't know. I wonder if, he didn't really have respect. I think the respect level for Udonis might be going away,
especially for somebody like Jimmy.
Right.
We don't need that. We're tough. We don't need you to make us. We're tough. We're fine.
Now, if that had been Oakley, Jimmy would sit his ass down.
I agree.
So I don't know. I just didn't like it. I don't like things like that. I think that type of stuff should be for behind closed doors.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
And you brought up a good point though, just to wrap that up, is you have to know when and where to approach a player or a coach, and also you have to have a short memory as a coach and as a player.
Well, yeah, I mean, just in general.
I'm saying you have. I mean, that's my. And I'm saying I've had issues with players, and we were on a different page, and you come to the field the next day, like yesterday didn't happen,
right?
And you move forward. I'm not saying you don't address it, but you don't come with that anger still.
But that's your level of perspective, right? So somebody reared those attributes in you. You know what I'm saying? But so many other people don't have those attributes.
Like I say,
they take that stuff personal.
Oh yeah, I had a player of mine of the day. We had a run in at practice.
Okay.
And he was pissed. Okay, you can be mad at me. That's fine because I got in your ear.
Right.
But the next day you come, hey, what's up, man?
Right.
And hey, coach, what's up?
Right.
So you start anew. But if I come with that mentality, you're just going to drag it on.
Right. You know what it is? It's all about how they were reared, what level of perspective matters. Because I have some kids, I'm a counselor, I'm a guidance counselor, whatever. So, especially when as a guidance counselor, there's sometimes where I have to, say certain things, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time they don't like it at the moment.
Right.
But they'll come back. I'll give you an example and shout out, Micaiah Ransom, right? So Micaiah Ransom was one of my students and I had a scholarship for her, right? So I gave her the scholarship. So then she wrote something and she ain't really even write it. Micaiah is like a brainiac. She's super intelligent, right? So I gave her this thing and she gave me a little, a little nonchalant little thing. Oh, I can't do it, this and that. I pulled in the office and I said, what are you talking about? He can't. Yes, you can do it. What is this? What are you doing this? I've seen you write stuff like this in your sleep. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Boom, 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 boom. Right? Just encouraging her. You know what I'm saying? She got upset. You know what I'm saying? It walked away. She stepped with me and this and that. And even started crying. Walked away. And I said, you know what? She's not going to do it. That's what I was saying to myself. She's not going to do it. 2 hours later, here. This is what you want, right? Here. This and that. So when she was leaving, I said, thank you. Because you knew I was right. So there's a time to balance when you know what I'm saying? You can push the button, not push the button, but everything's timing. But the only reason why she still did it was because of the relationship was already established. So sometimes you're yelling and screaming, but you ain't got no relationship. There's nothing else for them to kind of reflect on. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
So, I wonder, I just think that I just didn't like it. I think it's poor. I think it was poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
but good for us because they in the East. And they were number one at one point, right?
They're still tied for number one.
Oh, still, okay. So
I know you just tied it all back to the Miami talk. I was like, good for us.
yeah,
But listen, with that said, we've had a fantastic show. Covered a whole lot. So let's run into our final thoughts for the day.
No Phillies talk now.
I mean, yeah.
So see, if Randy's talking about things that pop up on the memory. I wish last year's show around this time popped up on the memory because you said the same thing.
Archie Bradley.
Yeah. But that's your way of saying, it really matters to you.
Well,
you really watch.
You know what? I'm trying to. I don't have high expectations, so
right.
Yeah,
this is your norm. That's what I'm saying. This is your norm. See, if you say that, then you
watch a 7-1 start and be like,
I'm saying that's the way that you're trying to manage your disappointment.
You're right. I'm trying to manage my emotions. You were 100% right. I mean, because I know what to get into with this team. I mean, we don't have any pitching still. My pitching is still the question mark.
Well, you still have Zach Wheeler.
Yes.
And Aaron Nola. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not sure who's after that.
Well, we'll get into another.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
That's all good.
They do have a good lineup though. We'll see what happens.
Castellanos.
It's a nice bat.
Good.
Yeah. So, but we shall see. So,
you still got Mudo, right?
We do.
Ria Mudo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got him.
Healthy Ria Mudo.
Oh, he's healthy now, right? Because he wasn't that healthy.
Well, and also the addition of the DH is going to help a little bit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't like that. That's my personal opinion, but
what gives you an advantage, though?
It does, but I still liked that there was the disparity in the leagues, the NL and AL, and in the World Series, you still had the difference.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
How's D looking? He's not looking that good this year?
We'll see.
How's he looking?
Can't feel the ball to save his life.
Still?
Yeah.
Recently, too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought you wasn't watching, though.
Well, I don't know what's going on in the spring, but I'm sure it didn't change.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Okay.
Yo, man.
Shout out to my mom. My mom's the funniest. She's the funniest Phillies fan. She texts me 2-1 Phillies, top of the third. And it's like the third spring training game of the season. Yeah. I don't even know that they're on.
Well, they're playing the Yankees. I heard they were playing the Yankees.
Were they?
That's what I heard.
It's funny, though.
I hear that. I heard they were playing the Yankees. And, listen, are you playing the Yankees this year in Philly or anything?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule.
That'd be good.
That'd be good. Schedule. So
that'd be good. So
we'll see.
It's all good.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's anything else going on, man. I think, just that little fight or whatever. And I don't really call. I'm happy about the Sixers. I like what I'm seeing from Harden. I think Harden. I thought he's, except for that one game, I thought I like what I see from him. I don't know. Do you think that? I guess my last question is this: do you think that they could win the title? You think there's an opportunity?
I think they could. I think it's very slim.
Okay, but there's an opportunity.
They could.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I
don't expect them to.
No,
but they could. That 2-man combo could really.
That's not the issue.
Which
everybody else, not everybody else, but the shooting. Matisse can't score at all. The bench.
Tobias has been playing well.
He's been playing better.
What about Maxey? Is he untradeable yet to you?
No.
Still not.
Untradeable. We discussed this.
Okay.
Untradeable means there's nobody. Embiid's untradeable. There's nobody in NBA I'd rather have than Embiid.
Okay, I got you. Okay, all right. Okay.
But there's maybe 4 players in the NBA that are untradeable.
Okay, Maxey is like the X factor, right? Would you agree?
I agree.
Right, he makes this thing.
I mean, he is. And the nights that he steps up and he's like the third big piece,
Right.
They're a different team.
I think that's what I enjoyed. That's why it's a shame that Ben couldn't come back. But I thought Maxey was like a homegrown, because they drafted him, piece that they were missing, a guy that can get to the cup. You know what I'm saying?
Would you trade Maxey for John Morant?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he's not untradeable.
Shoot,
Yeah.
shoot, I would drive him.
All right, just
Yeah.
checking.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So he's not untradeable.
But not for Bradley Beal. Wouldn't do it.
In
I have to think about
the short window, if I'm looking at the short window of what could help the Sixers best win a title, I may make that move.
I wouldn't do it.
I have to think about that.
I wouldn't do it. It's too
Okay.
injury prone for me.
Okay.
That's true. That
I
is
wouldn't do
very
it.
true.
It's too injury
Okay.
prone. I wouldn't do it. I think Maxey's a star in the making.
I understand.
I think he's an all-star next year.
Would you trade?
No shot? I think he's an all-star next year. I actually think that he should be in the running for most improved.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because this is like his first real shot of being
I mean,
a
damn,
starter.
you go
right?
from like 7 points a game to like 18. Shit. I mean,
It's just, I guess it just depends on what your definition of most improved is. I think any player going from their first and second year shouldn't be in
shouldn't be at all. Okay.
No,
that's what you're
That's fair.
supposed to do.
Right. I think like
That's fair.
Like I think if you went from if you were your fourth year and you average 11 points and you go to a 19 point a game scorer,
That's fair.
it's like you did a lot to
That's fair.
improve your game.
That's fair.
I don't know who most improved would be.
I like Maxey though.
In the league,
Yeah. Who else? Duncan Robinson.
oh man, Tony out there trying to get some love for Furkan.
Stop it.
For what?
For
Come
what?
on, come on, my neighbor. Come on,
For
Tone.
what?
Yeah, Kirk
For what?
Corkwise is corky.
For what? Not missing as many threes as
Oh,
he.
he's garbage.
Oh,
I
okay.
think even though
You know what the sad thing
he's
is?
playing well right now. Though. I
The
think he's
sad thing
playing
is
well.
we need him. Like you actually need him to be able to hit a couple threes.
That's what hurts.
And that's
I don't want to need him.
and that's the thing you do. And whatever you decide what you're going to get off the bench, some days you get a good George Niang and other days you get
John Morant is these are the player odds to win it. John Morant, Darius Garland, I forgot about him.
Oh yeah, okay,
Mhm.
okay,
Miles Bridges, Deontay Murray.
okay,
Maxey is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
okay. 6. Okay,
Yeah.
he's
All
up
right.
there. I mean, he's in the running.
consideration.
Yeah, he's in the running. But I like him and Harden though. I like that backcourt.
No, I do.
That backcourt is all right.
It is.
Batista. Oh,
But
jeez.
Matisse is what, defensive?
No, I mean, he's on there for most improved.
Oh no,
I mean, he's plus 50,000, but
oh no.
he's on the list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I like the team. I think that, I think there's an opportunity.
I think there's an opportunity. Like I said, I just don't. If you had to tell me today, Sixers winning, yes or no, I'm saying no.
I think the hard part is going to be that the East is so much better that they're not going to have an easy series. So
Right.
you're not going to get that 5-game series, which I think means that you're going to have to play your bench more, which is going to hurt the Sixers.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Absolutely. So,
I think people better be scared of that Memphis team.
yeah.
Because they played Miami, right? PJ Tucker's on there too, right? PJ is on Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were not afraid of him. And it was almost like, like PJ who? Get up out of here. And PJ's like an enforcer type guy.
Yeah.
So, usually those type of guys is like, you kind of nervous about, but nah, he could care less. They care less. They're just good ball players, man.
I watched them the other day against Brooklyn
Okay.
without Ja.
Yes, right.
And they weren't scared of nothing.
No, they just kept balling.
And I was like, oh, these guys are.
And they got what's his name? Steven Adams.
Steven Adams.
See, Steven Adams. I mean, he's a quality center.
Yeah.
But it was somebody else. Who's the four? Oh, Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, Triple J. Right? His pops was all right too.
Well, yeah. I mean, he doesn't get as much credit as he should.
No,
He's a good ball player.
yeah, he's not bad. Is he better than DeAndre Ayton?
No.
Offensively.
Offensively, right? Okay.
He does. I mean, he steps out. So I mean, they're different
Yeah,
positions.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. I don't know. Them young boys was playing, man. So they was playing, man. And I like their spirit.
Yeah. Well,
They're like a college team.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're having fun.
Mm-hmm. And it's all led by Ja. Ja just out there having, like, I mean, I saw an interview the other day. They were like, he's like, I still live home and eat my mom's cooking. Like, you know, it's just like, you know, it's just having fun.
Yeah. I do have a question. It's a random question that popped into my head. We'll just take a poll on it. And actually, it might be disrespectful to him because I don't want no Kwame Brown feelings. But do you think Kevin Durant gets a haircut?
I think
he has to get a haircut.
I mean, he probably gets the beard.
Because people always say, he's got a cut. I just wish he cuts his hair. Right? But I think he gets haircuts. I think that's how his hair gets cut.
He might just cut it himself, so it's not long. He might just like.
You think that he does that as a wow?
You think that's like that's the look he goes for, or you think he just doesn't care about it?
I think that's the look he goes for.
That's interesting.
Did you see?
That's interesting. I think that's the look he goes for.
Did you see the one game where the dude was getting a haircut courtside?
Who's that?
I don't know. It was some fan was getting.
It's some dude who like.
That's funny.
He does all this like parody stuff about the NBA. He goes to games. He like.
That's funny.
What did my son say? He goes. He'll go. He does. He's like a YouTube guy. He like goes. He'll go to like a random college and sit in a auditorium or whatever during class and get his haircut. Like just stuff funny. Like that. And he's bald, so it's not like he's getting a haircut.
No, I think he had a beard. I don't know, but it was funny because the NBA players were like,
they were all watching him.
They were like, this guy's getting a haircut, courts, and he had the apron and everything.
Yeah. It's funny. It's just interesting. It's just like, yo, if anytime somebody talk about KD, the haircut conversation comes up.
It's interesting. I think it's interesting whenever an NBA player doesn't have like a cut. I think it's interesting.
Okay, like properly groomed.
Yeah, like not like whatever they're doing with their hair is like a shape up or something. Like it's just. I think that's interesting.
If I had money like that, I would be there every single week.
I think he gets his hair.
Not even every.
I think that's the look he's going for.
Okay.
I don't even need for me. It's not even the money. It's the time for that. Like you have nothing but time
to do it.
Like you have nothing else.
Right.
Like
and you can bring people in.
Like you have
people
time.
travel with you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could have a team barber where
something.
So, but he obviously gets his haircut because it's not growing. It's
not growing, right? It's the same, right?
This is always a different length.
But I wonder if, like I said, I wonder if that's just the look.
It's got to be. That's why I said it's got to be. What else could it be?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just letting it grow and he's losing himself. No, he's getting it trimmed and cropped to that level. But see, you know what it is? He probably doesn't see it.
Do you see your hair every day?
No, but what do I see? All I see is here, right? No, we get a different view because we see.
I see.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he's
sees pictures of it.
He's a Twitter fiend. Okay. So he sees it all the time.
But he's funny when he goes back at people. Every now and then he'll go back.
He's sensitive.
He is very
sensitive. He gets sensitive.
He is.
He gets sensitive. But listen, I mean, he could ball though. I mean, I got to give him his props though. He could ball.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? The allure of Steph Curry in them has kind of calmed down a little bit. Steph Curry and Andre Drummond, they've kind of come down the size a little bit.
Especially, and it's going to come down, especially with Kyrie being able to play all the games. Seth's factor is going to be less.
Right.
Well, he's in a great position now, though. He's just.
But now his minutes are going to drop tremendously because it's him, it's Patty Mills, it's all those guys that are now that we're kind of playing for two spots with Kyrie. All those minutes are gone now.
Yeah. So. It's interesting. Andre Drummond said, I know we got to go, but I'm just having some free talk real quick. But Andre Drummond, right? He says, let's just keep it real. I'm more than likely I'm not coming back next year. Just honest about it, right? How do you feel about players being honest about it? And when they are that honest, do they still give their all? Like, could you... Like James Harden did something that I could never. I was never that really good, but I could never do that. I could never say, I'm just going to play, but not really going to play hard. I'm not really playing hard. I won't do it.
I mean,
Could you play the game and not play hard?
I mean, like you said, because we're not on that level, I couldn't because
Maybe so. Okay.
But think about this, like
maybe that's the factor.
He didn't play hard and still was 27-7. Like it was still stupid. Like
Right.
But everybody know you're not playing hard, but he's still he's just getting his numbers because he wanted to get out of there. I think the difference is Andre Drummond's a free agent.
Right.
He's on a minimum contract.
Right.
Brooklyn can't afford to pay him what he wants coming back.
So he already knows that.
So he knows that. But for him, do I think he can still give everything? Yeah, because if he goes out and is a big part of a championship team, he's going to get super paid.
Yeah.
Right.
As opposed to if he plays terrible, now he's going to be back in the same situation. So I think he can definitely play hard. I think he definitely will play hard. I think he'll definitely give everything he has because I think the situations are different. Whereas Harden's like, I'm going to not give my all so that you trade me because it's up to you to make this decision. I don't get to make the decision.
Well, I got you. He's making the decision. Though, right?
He's making the decision, but
I get what you're saying. He can't make the overall decision, right? The
leave.
Final, right? I got you. I don't know. It's just interesting, because I would even think that maybe Drummond doesn't play as hard because now he's on the minimum. It's a catch-22, man, because if you get injured.
For sure. But I think.
Man, you're not getting shit.
When was the last time Andre Drummond was relevant?
Yeah, that's a while.
Because when he went to Lakers, that hurt him.
It did. Yeah.
Detroit
was the last time.
So he's got to prove something. Like he's having a good. Don't get me wrong. He was playing great for the Sixers.
Yeah.
As a backup.
Yeah.
Now this is a chance for you to be a big part of a team. That's going to win.
You think he's going to be a career backup now, or you think he could be a starter?
I think he could be a starter.
I think he'll be a starter too.
And I think that's the only thing he'll take right now is being a starter. I think he just went to this Embiid thing because
to do what he
did.
He seems a little more mature. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I always remember him from, he dated. He had like a crush on this girl I had a crush on at one time. I used to watch this show. I did. I forget her name. Is it Summer or what is her name? She was on iCarly. Sam.
What?
Was it Sam? Is her name Sam? Sam. Yeah, he dated Sam from iCarly. Is that do you guys remember?
I remember the name.
You remember iCarly?
I remember the name of the show. Yeah.
You don't remember? You never heard of iCarly?
I heard of it, but
yeah. I think he did.
If I would have bet any show, that probably would have been the 50,000 to 1 odd that Jay says iCarly.
No, he did though.
Wait.
He had like a love affair for her. They dated. I think she dumped him too.
This girl?
Yeah, he dated. Yeah. He loved her. Yeah, he's all right.
Good for her.
He's all right. Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah. It's not he had a love affair for Hoda Kotb now, you know what I'm saying?
I forget. For some reason, I just think
She's had a dope name, man. I'm like, her name was Hoda. She's dope. It's a dope name, yo.
I just think, like I said, with I just forget how young he is still. Like
baby.
Like with Drummond.
Yeah.
Like I still think for some reason I look at Drummond and I think he's like 32, 33. Yeah. And I've realized that he's only going to be 29. Yeah. So he's got another payday coming.
Yeah. Like is he still in the league? Okafor. He was.
I don't think he is.
He is. I just knew he was going to be garbage. Did you know he was going to be garbage when he came out? I knew he was.
I didn't think he was going to be a star. I didn't think he was going to be garbage.
I thought he would find it, like you said, he would be a career, backup big man, 5 points a game.
I thought he was the second coming of J.R. Reed.
He's playing in J.R. Reed. You know where J.R. Reed is right now?
Where?
He's an assistant coach at Monmouth University.
Is he?
Wow.
I met him the other day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good dude.
Great dude. Yeah. Don't disrespect to him.
No, I don't.
No disrespect. But I just didn't think that he was going to be, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a Tar Heel field day, I'll be honest with you.
Well, until Marcus was going to tell us after the show that he was going to come on, and you just ruined that.
No, not at all.
He's not listening.
No, right. No, I mean, listen, I'm just saying I wasn't a Tar Heel fan anyway. But I thought that his, that's what he reminded me of.
He's playing in Nigeria.
Okafor. The problem I had with him is that he didn't rebound.
He's averaging 7 he's averaging
5 or 4.
What? 2. Never mind. Go ahead. Let's go.
How many rebounds?
I'm not having Kwame Brown coming to me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he just didn't rebound. How can you be that tall and not rebound? I don't understand it. I just didn't understand it. I never liked him.
This is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Never liked him. And J.R. Reed, he might be a great dude. I'm sure he is. But back then, I was more of Duke than Carolina.
Well,
back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I forgot who they had. But I was Carolina when they had Kenny Smith, though. I did like Carolina when they played Kenny Smith. You know what I'm saying? And, yo, listen, if y'all want good, listen, shout out to, that's my last shout out. Inside the NBA is a great show.
Yeah.
This is a great show. But you guys got to see when they had their roast. And that clown, JB Smooth.
Yeah.
And that other dude, I forget his name, was getting on Kenny. Oh my gosh. When they crack on Kenny Smith, it is hilarious. Hilarious.
I'm a big fan of that show.
Yes, hilarious. Anyway, that's what I had to say.
All right. All right. We got any final thoughts today before we wrap it up?
So listen, just hoping that it's a good week coming up. We got thank you to everybody that went to Wendy's. Appreciate that. Definitely going this Friday. So we went shopping a little bit yesterday to get the outfits. Jason's preparing the speech. And she's got some surprises. So I'm really
where is it at?
It's at Vi in Philly.
Okay.
Vi, VIE.
Okay.
In Philadelphia. Nice spot. From where I go to that other spot right next door to his south. It's like a jazz club restaurant. It's a nice spot I go to. But Vi is supposed to be pretty big. I mean, the tickets are $250.
Wow.
So Lisa Salters is going to be the MC or whatever. So it's going to be a nice event. So looking forward to got some family in town, always saying prayers about that, when you're mixing two sides to come together, you know what I'm saying? We just come together for a common cause. So we got to put some prayer on things.
In front of the people.
That's it. I hope they don't have no drinks there because drinks tend to make people very comfortable.
Yes, they do.
Very comfortable, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, looking forward to that. And just looking forward to just a great week, man. Spring is here. The allergies, the sinuses are in full effect.
I hope you have your winter coat out for tomorrow.
It's interesting. I don't really think I wore a winter coat only but twice this year.
Okay.
Coach, you wear winter coats?
Never.
Right. You just like a hoodie.
Just hoodie, get to the car.
Get to the car. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's a bulkiness. It's annoying.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But now if I'm shoveling, that coat is
no, that goes without saying. Yeah, that goes without saying.
Right. But if most times just wearing a vest and a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
I think that I gotta invest in a vest.
A vest, yeah. And really, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really provide much warmth. But it just looks better than when you have a hoodie on. Like, put a coat on. Oh, he's got a vest on.
Right.
So it really doesn't provide much warmth, though. Not that much warmth.
So I work with all women. Like it's all women. So every time I walk in, I'm like they all think they're my mother.
Right.
So whenever I walk in the winter, you need a coat. I'm getting you a winter coat. And sometimes I'll come in I'll have something on.
Right.
Like that's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah. So. But now here's the thing where the kids and everybody tease me because now see when it gets a little hot. Let's say tomorrow is 65 degrees. You still hoodie? Or you got okay. Let's say 70. You still hoodie or you got a t-shirt?
I'm hoodie until I don't have to go back to hoodie.
See, that's why we're here. See, I don't transition until it's stable.
Yeah.
Because we're taught this. Put something on before you catch a cold.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't go out with a wet head.
Right. Until you realize that germs is what really causes the cold.
I mean, all the time though, it was like, don't go out with a wet head.
Not none of the other stuff they're talking about.
And I used to go out with a wet head because it was all part of the hairdo philosophy.
Right. Well,
for myself at least.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
That's what I did. Listen, I'm just saying.
I know.
I had my LA look.
Yeah.
My thought process was if it was colder out, my hair would
It's like my
style up
daughter
better.
when I shine her up.
Yeah.
Yo, what's with my shine? No, and the shine is what keep the wind from cracking your skin up. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting though. But yeah, I have coached though, but I'm just like, if I got a suit on or something like that, then I gotta wear pea coat or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been vest and hoodie all winter long. That's amazing.
That's it.
And shout out to my job because that means I'm very comfortable. I like going to work because I'm telling you, I wear a hoodie. I got about 8 or 9 Pensgrove hoodies, and just keep that moving with some khakis and some wallabies and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Make the mark, man. But we're looking forward to a good week, though. You know what I'm saying? Good week.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, listen, with that said, for Coach Bullock.
Oh, damn. But you ain't even ask Marcus what you looking for. Damn.
I got nothing. I'm good.
I feel like we just been talking.
Yeah,
That's what I don't think I need to formally say, hey, what's your final thought, Coach?
Oh, okay. That's all right.
But I mean, I got nothing. Oh, you got nothing?
Nah.
All right.
How about you?
I mean,
It's the first game this week, right?
We got Friday
scrimmage.
Well, we scrimmage tomorrow,
Okay.
and then
Is it home?
yes, scrimmage tomorrow. And I told the guys, make sure you dress warm, very warm, and then Friday is opening day.
Opening day.
Yes,
April 1st.
Yeah.
Wow, where?
at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh yeah. So I'm hyped about that.
All right.
And other than that, I guess shout out St. Peter's. Hope they get the victory.
Yes.
And
Jersey in the building.
Yes. All of it.
I guess.
Jersey versus the world.
That's right. Listen. Listen. That's all right. Listen. I already know that. You know what I'm saying. Listen. When I'm just coming with different thoughts, and it's interesting to hear the different reasonings that you guys give.
You keep coming. You keep coming.
And I won't stop.
You're like a wasp.
No. I just look at different points of view, different angles.
Okay.
And that was an interesting angle that you led with. You said, well, yeah, Jersey school, we're all getting behind. I'm like,
but like I said, you can't apply. I don't apply the same rules to college that I do to pros.
You're gonna switch that up too. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna switch that. I'm gonna put that on the record. You're gonna switch that because it's a scenario that's gonna come up.
There's just no pro teams in Jersey. That would cause that. He's not getting behind the Devils.
Right.
It's not happening.
Right. Like I remember, like for example, when the Rangers were playing the Canucks, in the Stanley Cup, I was like, I don't want to see the Rangers win. They're like, you're not rooting for the American team over the Canadian team, and I was like, nope.
I hate that thing because hockey may be different. Like that's like, oh, you're not rooting for such and such over the Toronto. Well, no, they're not from Toronto.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Most of the players aren't even from Toronto.
Larry's from Philly. What are you gonna say?
Exactly. So,
right.
But listen, that said, we've had a fantastic show. Once again, we were joined by Greg Himes from Overbrook Baseball. Go check that out. He joined us, got to give us a little insight as the start of the baseball season. And once again, we appreciate all the support. We've been continuing to grow on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Once again, for Marcus Bullock, for Jason Bryce, I'm Randy Dutkin. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll catch you next time.